Hey lemons, welcome back. If you are tired of making banana bread with your overly ripe bananas, then I recommend you make some banana scones. That's what we're whipping up today. We're going to start out with some all-purpose flour. This is 2 cups. You can whisk it, you can sift it, whatever you'd like. And then to that, we're going to add some baking powder, some cinnamon, some ginger, and some salt. The spices are totally dependent on your taste. If you want something a little bit stronger, or if there's some other spices that you'd like to add in, like some allspice or I don't know, some cloves or something, totally able to add some stuff in, making it a little bit more your own. To that, we're going to add some vegan butter. You could probably also use some coconut oil. Just make sure that it is solid. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into our dry ingredients so that it becomes a little bit crumbly. It becomes more sand-like in texture. Don't overthink this. It's really not as difficult as people make it out to be. Just don't cream it into the butter, just cut it into it as well as you can. And then to that, we're going to add our mashed bananas. I didn't go too crazy on mashing these. Sometimes people puree them. I don't see the bother in bringing out a whole blender for this, so just mash them up as well as you can. Make sure there's not huge chunks. And then to that, we're also going to add plant milk and some vanilla. I used vanilla almond milk, so there was already some vanilla in it. And then also to that, we're going to add some molasses. You could also use agave or maple syrup. I like molasses because it kind of adds into the gingerbreadiness of the ginger and the cinnamon spices that we add in. But sweetener of choice, totally optional. You could probably also use a granulated sweetener. I've never tried it, but if you do try it, let me know. So just mix that. It's going to take a little bit of time to get all this together. This is a pretty forgiving recipe though. I've made this one a couple times now, and sometimes the batter's a little bit more wet, sometimes it's a little bit more dry. It's going to bake up fine, so don't stress about it. This is a really easy recipe if you're a beginner baker. So just mix it well and make sure there aren't huge flour clumps at the bottom of your bowl. Once it's all incorporated and mixed together, grab a lined baking sheet. I use one with a silpat on it. All you're going to do is transfer the batter and push it down either with your fork or with your hand. Again, like I said, it's really forgiving, so just push it out as far as you want to. Make sure it's not super thin. We're looking for probably ½ an inch in thickness, and you can make it in any shape you want. I make it into a circle to try to replicate like the wedge scones that you typically see in like a cafe. And then you're going to score it lightly like I did with the back of my fork, and then bake it off at 425. It'll come out nice and golden brown like this. Now these scones are not overly sweet. They're a little bit on the, I don't know, not moist side, but they're not dry like you might expect a typical scone to be. So I find these really good toasted up the next morning with some jam. They're really great for like a tea time or with your coffee. Make sure to try the recipe. If you like it, let me know, and tag me in a photo at Lemon Perspective if you make them. I hope you do. Enjoy.